Hi, and welcome to the Prado Museum. We're here again a few moments before it opens to the public on the social media programming with our weekly sessions in English. And this project is supported by the members of the nonprofit American Friends of the Prado Museum. We encourage everyone to find out how we support the museum on our website and also that of our sister institution in Spain, the Fundación Amigos del Museo del Prado. Today we're in the very impressive central gallery of the museum with one of the main figures, one of the principal figures of Venetian painting of the 16th century, which we know is an artist that we know as Veronese. And now he was one of the three painters, along with Titian and Tintoretto, that coincided in their lifetime in Venice in the 1500s. Titian was the great master and about 40 years his elder. Tintoretto was 10 years his elder, and Veronese, whose name is Paolo Cagliari, he was born in 1528 in Verona and moved to Venice in the 1550s, and so there would be where he gets his nickname and how we know him today as Veronese. We're going to look at this, here we have the wall panel, this work of Christ among the doctors in the temple, to really painted around 1560, to really see how Veronese would address this biblical passage and place it into a Venetian ideal. So the biblical passage is from the book of Luke, where Jesus, as a youth, travels to Jerusalem with his parents. So the Holy Family travels to Jerusalem together to celebrate Passover. And he escapes from his parents, who have lost him and are worried and looking for him all over Jerusalem, and they finally find him in this scene where he is arguing or discussing theology among the doctors, the most learned in the temple. And we see these figures that are listening to what he has to say, that are studying the scriptures, and they're all fascinated with his theories, and also clearly Veronese in the composition makes his theories superior as he is above all of them in the central part of the painting. Also here, if you see his hands gesture, enumerating his arguments about his theories with his gesture. So he's superior and above all of these figures here in the temple. Now, right next to him, we have this beautiful marble column. And just to mention that he was the son of a marble stone cutter. And so this could influence very greatly in his wonderful treatment of marble and also of architecture. Veronese had come to Venice, and he had already painted frescoes on a palace that had been constructed by the great Renaissance architect Palladio. And the whole background of this painting is this gorgeous architectural scene of 16th century Venice, probably idealized, but including balustrades that are in palaces and the libraries nearby. And this is right after, we know that this is right after books are printed of the 10 books on architecture by Vitruvius. Vitruvius, the ancient Roman architecture, who's talking about symmetry, harmony, balance in classical architecture. So architecture is very important in the works of Veronese. So we have this stunning background, and we also add that the Venetians are really promoters of these very large canvases due to the fact that it's more humid in Venice, and so they would transfer the idea of large-scale painting onto canvas so that the humidity wouldn't damage it. because it's a more watery area. Now, what's beautiful about Veronese painting is his rich and sumptuous style and these gorgeous colors. And I'd like to point out everyone that's in yellow and pink and greens that run through all of the figures in the painting. Venice is also a very sumptuous port town of trade with the finest articles on the Silk Road. You know, it's a port between Europe and Asia, major on the Mediterranean. All of these high quality and exotic elements and items and spices and silks are coming through. It is also a melting pot of traders. So here we have on this figure, for example, this beautiful profile and his exotic headdress. The green on his sleeves is just gorgeous, and the yellows and the pinks. So this treatment of color is very sumptuous and enjoyable to the viewer. It's very much stands out. And I love how he puts the greens through the chairs and takes us through the paintings with the greens. So when you come to visit and see this painting, look through the different color plays, you know, that he brings out. And then also the exotic, just different figures. These people would come from different areas. There's different skin colors. It's a representation of the melting pot of the merchants of Venice. Then we also have this figure, which stands above all of this group and is dressed in black and is at the night of the Holy Sepulchre and with a staff of a pilgrim. So one of the theories is that this figure could be the person who would have commissioned the work to Veronese for his palace in commemorance possibly of a pilgrimage to Jerusalem. And then we also see in the biblical passage how Joseph and Mary are finally coming in through the temple door. They've been worried. You can see on their faces signs of distress. They've been worried about their son, and they come in and they're surprised to see him above and discussing with all of the very learned doctors in the temple. So this would have been the Temple of Jerusalem, but it's taken to contemporary Venice with the sumptuous colors, with the beautiful architecture. Here's an hourglass, which my personal interpretation is that there would be a time limit to expound your theories possibly in the temple, or I don't know, but it's a beautiful treatment, and how he reflects the glass, his painting skill, all of the decoration, and the little figures that are in all the different spaces throughout the composition. So Veronese is very much present here in the central gallery, along with the other painters of famous painters of Venetian painting, of Titian and Tintoretto. And so again, as they were together in life, they're together here in the Prado Museum, and as they were very much appreciated by the Spanish Royal Collection and actively collected. And we believe that actually Velázquez, on his second trip to Italy, would have acquired this painting to bring it back for King Philip IV's collection. So thank you very much for your attention, and we hope to see you again next week, and that you enjoy these gorgeous paintings in the main central gallery. Thank you.